Oh, hey, gang, it's your old pal Kevin Strange. And I warned you yesterday we were going to do it. Today we're doing it. So I thumbnailed out an entire Christmas one-shot comic, 30-page comic book. We're going to draw and ink and letter before Christmas. We're going to do it. Today we get started. So where are we at? How far have I got? I have penciled out, rough penciled out the first 8 pages of the comic here. Laid it all out, roughed it in, and now we're going to do what I call the hard pencils, or the detailed pencil version of these pages. Why 8? Because 8 pages here. This represents the first scene. There's 3 scenes in this comic book. This represents the first 8 pages represents the first scene. Then we'll do the second scene, which is like 11 pages, and then we'll do the third scene, which is whatever. So I'm going to try. The goal for today, not on camera. We're just going to hang out for a little bit and have some fun, talk a little bit. I want you guys to be involved in this process every step of the way. You know I like to do that. I like to bring you in behind the scenes. This is like the audio commentary of comic book creation here in Strangeville. What we're going to try to do today is get the whole first scene penciled. 8 pages. What I'm going to do on camera, maybe 1 or 2 pages, maybe 3. Maybe not even a whole page. Depends on how far we get. Every page is different. The time it takes to do a page, every single page, is different. But we open the comic book here. Let me get my my morning water. The opening shot here is of a very distressed Santa Claus here. So we are going to nail this in. Hit the like button. Jump in the comments. I'm on here today showing you guys, bringing you in behind the curtain, the behind the scenes, if you will, hanging out, making comics. You guys, you got to keep me company in the comments. Jump in the comments, talk to me, start a conversation. Give me something to talk about. The more you guys interact with me, the less brain work I have to do. And to get started, I have run out of lead in my pencil. Just as at the word go. Luckily, I have 50,000 more. These are all empty pencils. The thing about these pencils is I get them from Walmart, and they come in like fucking this is a pen, but they come in like 6 and 8 packs, and it's actually just as cheap to buy a whole new pack of pencils as it is to buy the insert cartridges. Believe it or not, I have a bunch of. I've blown through. I bought all these pencils like 2 years ago, and they all came with refill cartridges. I've finally managed to go through all of the refill cartridges. So all I have left is, like, I literally have to just toss the pencil and go grab another whole mechanical pencil. So here we go, brand new mechanical pencil, and we will get started. We got John Coy in the chat getting this started. He says, let's do this. Right on, brother. It's good to see you. Anybody else watching, hit that like button and jump in the comments. Have a conversation with us. How you doing today, John? This is the first day of my vacation, and I wouldn't want to spend it any other way than sitting here making fucking Strangeville comics with you all. I haven't been able to. I haven't done the pencil phase in a while. What's really funny about the way I work is I work in phases or stages. So I will lay out my comic, then I will pencil my comic, then I will ink my comic, letter it, and then color it and finish it. And for a project as huge as Cockhammer Lives, the graphic novel, it took. I worked on it over the span of 9 months, and it eats up so much time that each phase or stage of development, I've been in the coloring phase of comic creation for 2 months. I haven't done a pencil drawing in months. And so a funny thing happens. I forget, like I get real rusty with my phases or stages. So it's not that I forget how to pencil draw, but boy, it takes me a while to get back in the saddle for each different stage. It's pretty funny that my pencils will be real crappy for the first couple of pages until I've got a picture of Strangeville Santa brought up here so I can see the best way to draw him. John says, this is the last day of mine until Christmas. Well, enjoy it, sir. Enjoy it. Do something productive, like playing Strangeville Smoke Weed the card game. I want him to have a kind of a bulbous nose. He's a bulbous, hefty Santa. He's a thick boy. So we're gonna give him a honker. So yeah, these first few pages are always, I'm a little rusty, and it takes me a while to get back in the swing of things. And then the same thing will hold true for the inking. By the time I get back to inking, I'm so rusty at it. It takes me a few pages to get back into the swing of things. With these smaller little one shots that I'm going to do here, though, it's nice because there's not going to be that much time between each stage or phase. So I shouldn't lose my magic touch too badly. Not that I have much of a magic touch to begin with. I'm not a very good illustrator on my best of days. So I used to have bigger ears than that. This is the very beginning of the comic is always interesting because when I'm working with new characters, or even when I'm working with old characters, I'm figuring out their look, how they're going to look. I'm figuring out the, I guess you would call it the shorthand of what these characters are going to look like. And I have to draw a balance. Like I'm going to, this is going to be a pretty heavily, this particular picture of Santa, illustration of Santa, is going to be fairly detailed, rendered, because it's the opening shot of the comic book, and it needs to really, it needs to resonate. It can't be sloppy. It can't be rushed. But as the comic book goes on, the the characters become more and more shorthand, and the way I draw them will get less and less detailed, but the shortcut shorthand version of it will be quick, a lot easier to draw, quicker to draw. I'll be able to nail them right on out. But these first couple of pictures of these characters, I got to do Sarsaparilla next down here. These first couple of pictures really define what the character is going to, ultimately look like. John says, looking forward to seeing her again. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of her in this comic. So a lot of interesting stuff. This is a fun comic. Who's this? My homies want to hit me up and chit chat while I'm on the air here. We'll get back to you later. Hit the like button. Jump on in the comments. Hang out with us. Talk. Me and John are chilling. What's on the agenda today, John? What you got going on? Let's see how I did his. I guess I got his fucking beard so fucking big. It covers everything up. It doesn't stop there. It comes around this. Comes around like this. This. All of this is hair. And all of this is hair. John says, not sure right now. Tried to sleep in, but that didn't work. I would like to get some writing or cleaning done, though. Well, those are admirable goals to aspire toward. I tend to spectacularly blow my own days off. I'll have cleaning or dishes or laundry, all that fun, boring domestic stuff to do, and I'll start watching fucking movies. I'll fucking start talking on the phone to one of my friends. Pretty much procrastinate and do anything that I can to avoid the chores. And, with the full intent of doing them, like, oh yeah, I'll get to that in I'll get to that in an hour or so. I'll get to that in an hour or so. And 13 fucking hours later, it's bedtime. And I'm like, I didn't do shit. I didn't do a fucking thing today. Luckily, I don't treat my Strangeville work that way, or nothing would ever get done. I tend to be very disciplined and studious whenever it comes to artwork, writing. But when it comes to domestic stuff, not so much. Not so much. To the point, in fact, that I have looked into the cost of a maid service. How much would it be to just fucking pay some lady to come in here and clean this goddamn house for me? And you know what? The rates ain't that bad. They ain't that bad. One of the things about the pencil phase that I try to be cognizant of it, pay attention to it, and I fail every time, is I press so hard. I press so hard with this pencil that I cramp up my fucking hand inevitably, and my hand gets stronger the longer I'm in the pencil phase because of this fucking death grip I put on this pencil. But in the beginning, like right now, I've only been drawing for 15 minutes and my hand is fucking cramping to shit because I grip this fucking pencil so hard. If I would just fucking relax my grip and let the let the graphite do the work. It's already the darkest graphite pencil that you can buy from the store. If I would just let it do its work, it's plenty dark, but I have to dig into it. For whatever reason. So it's my art. It's my drawing technique. It also makes it super hard to fucking erase anything. When I fucking bear down on the fucking pencil lid so much. And I can't break myself of the habit no matter how hard I try. Okay, well, things are looking pretty good with our Santa Claus here. And I could noodle on him all day. But the real detail isn't going to be in the pencils, it's going to be in the inks. So there's two ways to look at this. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Two schools of thought in my head about what I'm doing in these processes. And I can illustrate that point perfectly with these two panels. So this is what a panel looks like when I take my time and detail it. And that's pencils. I'm going to ink over this. This is what happens when I rough out a panel and I don't do any pencils beyond the initial layout. You can ink either one of these panels You can go to the inking phase right now on either one of these panels. If I go to ink this panel, I obviously have a lot less thinking that I have to do when it comes to the inking. A lot of the lines are already there for me. A lot of the work is already done as far as the inking phase goes. It's almost a tracing in ink. If I was to go into the inking phase on this, almost all of the work would be done in the inking. There would be no tracing involved. It would be a heavy workload for the inks. For whatever reason, where I'm at skill-wise with cartooning, I feel way more comfortable in the pencil phase than I do in the inking phase. So I love to get in and do all these details with the pencil so that I don't have to do much work in the inking. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So that's why I get fairly detailed with the pencils, but at a certain point I have to let it go because I have to ink this. So there's always a balancing act that I'm doing. Always trying to figure out when enough is enough, and when I can move on. And I think if I fix up this mouth a little bit, I'll be ready to move on. I think this is a pretty decent representation of Santa Claus to start off the comic. It's a pretty good picture, but I want to do some better teeth. That's all. I've been in the fucking iPad inking and coloring phase for so long. I almost just did this. I almost just tried to zoom in on a piece of fucking paper. That's how retarded I am. If you ever think you're dumb, just remember, there's a guy out there trying to expand a piece of paper like a fucking iPad. I'll reach over here and try to click the, I'll try to reach over to the side of the fucking page and click undo. There's no undo button on paper, bro. This is the undo button on paper. Okay, these teeth are looking pretty good. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to move on. So one of the things that's got me super excited about this project is it's going to be, initially anyway, due to the time constraints and the fact that I'm giving it away for free and just overall what I want to do with this piece, I am releasing it in black and white. Doing it in black and white sounds like, oh, well, he's taking a shortcut. You know, he's not finishing the work. It's not finished if it's not colored. But here's the thing. All of the work, all of the comic book work that I've done up to this point has been in color. And I haven't let the inks carry the load, do the heavy lifting on the artwork. And what a phase of inking called spotting blacks has greatly suffered because of that. I don't put heavy blacks, and I don't do a lot of hatching, cross hatching, stippling, I don't do a lot of those uh, black and white techniques. John says there are plenty of great black and white comics. I agree. And there's a when the black and the white are the only colors you can work with, there are a lot of techniques. There are a lot of inking techniques that have to be used to create clarity and depth and shadow, and even, sounds counterintuitive, but even light sources. How do you make light sources with black and white? You have more white than you do black on that side. You create negative space in order to create the perception of your light source and your shading source. And so one of the things I knew I wanted to do just as soon as I finished Cockhammer Lives, the graphic novel, was immediately do a project that that was black and white, so that I'm forced to practice those techniques, those inking techniques that will basically up my inking skills by forcing me to use negative space, stippling, hatching, cross hatching, and the like, in order to properly tell the story. So, having said that, I'm excited to get to the inking phase on this comic so that I can start playing around with those techniques and make this a really cool black and white comic. I believe I'm going to color it eventually. If you're just coming in, hit that like button. Jump on in the comments. Hang out with us. The more you guys chit-chat with me, the less I have to worry about what I'm going to talk about. And the more I could just work. I got to go find a picture of Sarsaparilla here and make sure I get her. There we go. Make sure I get her looking right. This is her first shot of the comic. Gotta get her looking good. I don't like the nose on that one, though. I like the nose on the poster. Let's open up the poster. Take a look at her face here. Okay. I like that nose better. So her nose is going to be like this. Like this. And like this. Maybe that's a little big. We get the idea. Let's put it like this. Okay. I like that. John says, "Don't forget the yarn hair." I've got it laid out here. These little wisps are how big her hair is going to end up all the way over here. I always draw these girls in my comics with this gigantic hair. The hair is just ridiculous. Okay. The little ears poke out here a little bit. And a little. Oh. A little head down. Over some ears. That. Lips like this. John says, "Good deal. Didn't she have that cyber goth hair?" Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, the actress that played Sarsaparilla in the movie has a ton, like actually has a hair, like a cyber goth hair business, and has like almost an endless amount of different variations. Of that hairstyle. So I asked her to when we were coming up with the look for Sarsaparilla, I said, please wear the biggest, most outrageous and exaggerated hair you have in your collection. I want it to look like a dead octopus on your head. And she laughed and said, I have just the one. And she did. She came to set in an enormous, completely ridiculous head of hair. And Sarsaparilla the Weed Witch was born. And will live on forever in Strangeville infamy. She's one I really like to come back to. This is actually the third story I've told with Sarsaparilla. The first being Nixon and Hogan Smoke Christmas. The second was a novella that I wrote several years ago called The Witch Who Fucked Christmas, which was another classic battle between Sarsaparilla and Santa Claus. Here she is for a third time. She must be obsessed with this Santa fella. And we addressed that very idea in this comic. Why Sarsaparilla always trying to fuck Santa Claus? What is her problem? that is the theme of this particular comic book. Getting to the root of Sasparilla's Santa obsession. All right. If you're not watching this live, if you're watching the replay of this, still hit that like button. Still drop a comment. In the comments section. I'll still read it. I'll still respond to it. I don't care if this video is a week old. I don't care if this video is 2 months old. If you're watching it, drop a comment. Say hi. Don't be shy. Looking good, looking good, looking good. All right. Bring in the shoulders here. This is just one of 8 pages I need to get done today, but the first page, the first drawing, first time I draw these characters is really important. So I'm taking my time. Not all of the pages are going to take me. I've been working on this page for about 40 minutes now. Not all the pages are going to take this long. Some of them will take even longer because there'll be a lot more to them. And some of them will go a lot faster. Once I establish the design of these characters, I'm going to give her a little weed necklace. Her a little weed necklace. Okay. Drawing in Santa's big ass here. So that we can start to get some more of the work done. drawing in Sasparilla's grabby hands here. Just that whole. Just got a hold of them butt cheeks for stabilization. Oops. Okay, I believe she wears this arm. She's gonna wear like a sleeve, and then this one is like a glove. Like that. And she's got a little tiny micro skirt on. We'll throw some beefy thighs. Some meaty thighs. Ladies of Strangeville always have a lot of junk in the trunk. Big thighs, big booties. She's going to have little rings and things on her dreadlocks. Throw a little ring in here. A little ring here too. This is the kind of thing where, what I'm talking about, where I have this balance between how much work I'm going to do in the pencils and how much I can do in the inks. I'm sitting here. There's no reason for me to go to each and every dreadlock and create the texture lines with hatching like I'm doing. That's just something simple, intuitive. I'm going to know to do it in the inking phase, so I'm just wasting my time I could be using to get more pages done today. So I think I should move on and just let the hair go. This is a good representation of the hair, good enough representation of the hair that I should be able to get the rest of the piece done and consider sarsaparilla finished. So this is pretty good for sarsaparilla, and then we just have to nail in agonized Santa here, as his butt is most certainly being violated by the Weed Witch. And so we will express that. hit the like button. Jump on in the comments. Say hi. We're wrapping up here. I'll probably be done in the next few minutes, but all comments are welcome. Jump on in, hang out with us. No questions are too weird. No comments are too whatever. Santa, Santa, Santa. What have you gotten yourself into this time? John says, I'm back. Laptop froze up. They tend to do that. These wonderful devices that control our lives, they tend to be often less than reliable. All right. Santa. It's almost done here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a cool comic. I am digging it already. I love these characters. I love Christmas time. I love telling you guys stories, expanding the canon of the Strangeville stories into weird and new directions. And I can tell you 100% for sure we're going to do new things with the characters in this book. This book really explores more the tells us a little bit more about the ROCCO character, Sasparilla's minion, which we'll see here on the next page. And I always ask myself that question when I go to write something new in the Strangeville canon. I ask myself, what are we learning about these characters that we don't already know? There has to be new material, something to expand the mythology of these characters. Otherwise, there's no point. Otherwise, you're just repeating yourself and just telling the same stuff over and over again. And so we learn a lot in this comic about Sasparilla's motivations, why she's so obsessed with Christmas and Santa Claus and his butthole. And we learn a little bit more about ROCCO Minion along with it. So on top of my, my motivation for this book being a project for me to expand my inking skills and create something in black and white that heavily relies on hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, and spotting blacks. I also get to expand the mythos a little bit and revisit some of my favorite characters in Strangeville. And you guys get a free comic at the end of the month. So there it is, page 1. Page 1 has been penciled. So we're going to set him aside. And we're going to move right on to page 2. Page 2 has a few more panels. We're going to add some backgrounds in, so you kind of see where we're at in Christmas world. And really, the story really takes off. On this page, and we get cruising right along. So I'm going to set aside page 1. Head right on into page 2. And I'm going to do this off the air. So I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Hit that like button, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. Hit that like button. Drop a comment in. I'll respond to the comments. I don't care if it's an hour from now, a week from now, a month from now. I'll respond to the comments, answer your questions. Let me know what you think of this new project idea. We're going to do this every day this week. Like I said, I'm on vacation. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably come and do a night stream later tonight. Once I get further into the work, I'll probably come maybe 7 or 8 o'clock tonight and do another stream. And I'm going to do this every day all week while I'm on vacation. And we're going to get as many of these pages done as we can. As I mentioned yesterday, in order for this book to be done and ready for release by Christmas, I have to do 5 pages a day. So I need to do 4 more just like this to stay on track. But what I want to do is I want to do 10 a day, or at the very least, the 8 pages that make up scene 1, I want to, at the very least, finish all 8 of these pages today. It's taken me an hour to do the 1 page, so that's an 8-hour workday. That's not that bad. 8 hours isn't that bad. For drawing, it's pretty intense. I've done longer. I can do 10. I can do 12 with breaks, in between. I need to eat lunch. I need to get lunch going before I start page 2 here. But we'll consider this a success if we get through 5, and we'll consider it a good victory if we get through all 8 tonight. And then I believe there are, let me count up how many pages there are in scene 2. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 pages in scene 2. So 8 today, 11 tomorrow. Might be a little ambitious, but we will get through as much of this as we can. Like I said, 5 is the minimum. If I get through all of scene 1 today, imagine if I get through scene 2 tomorrow, and then I think there's even more pages in scene 3. But imagine if today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Imagine if by Saturday I have the entire comic book penciled. Wouldn't that be awesome? Then all I have to do is ink and letter, and we're done. And it's only December 1st. Imagine if we can get to the inking phase by the 7th. That would be amazing. We'll see if we can get there, gang. You guys, the more you guys hang out with me, talk to me while I work, encourage the process along, the more likely we are to hit this goal. I don't want to put this out after Christmas. This is a Christmas story. I want you guys to be able to read this by Christmas. It's cool that we get to spend December together working on a Christmas story. That's awesome in and of itself. But I also want you guys to be able to read the final product before Christmas. That'll be awesome. So I'm going to jump off here, eat some lunch, and then get back at it. Try to get some more pages done today. So remember, stay strange. I'll see you later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again.